Okay, everyone, how y'all doing today? I hope you're all doing good. So, in this video, I want to talk about some of the like five dumbest things I have ever heard when it comes to video games, and we're going to stick to fighting games in this one because I think it's really because this is a big problem for the fighting games community that I'm aware of. I haven't really experienced it in other communities as much, so that's the reason I'm doing five fighting games arguments that I think are really stupid, right? Now, one thing I want to make clear real quick is this is mostly just pet peeves that I have when it comes to fighting games. Also, if you're interested to see me play video games, I'm gonna link my gaming channel in the description. Go feel free to go check it out. And another thing that I want to talk about is also if you want to see my Instagram and Twitter, TikTok, and all that, also link it. So let's get into the video real quick. So my first pet peeve out of five is practically veteran gamers to a newer age game. Now, if you're someone who pays attention to the FGC and other communities, but mostly FGC, like I said in this video, you know there's a thing called the old guard versus the new guard, right? Practically veterans and new players. Now, I hate one thing I hate about some veteran players, because some of them are really, really stupid in my eyes, but how they say that they know how newer games work compared to the old ones that they were good at. Like, I don't understand this logic at all. Like, if you played the original Street Fighter 2 on an arcade cabinet and some of the ports, like, all that is nothing compared to, like, the fighting game collection that came out, I think, a couple years ago. Because that one's practically the new version. That means the game's faster. It's not as buggy. It's not all this other shit. So, why do you think the old version of these games apply to this new version? It doesn't make sense to me. Another pet peeve that I have when it comes to fighting games is people who thinks fighting games are like consistent. Now I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. As someone who plays a lot of fighting games, I can tell you I got like four types of fighting games. The 80 fighting games, 2D fighters, 3D fighters, and brawls. Yes, I consider games like I'm not Street Fighter, Smash Brothers as fighting games. Okay. Now here's one thing. When it comes to 2D games, that I have is, or any of these games, is consistency. Like I see people all the time thinking, "Oh, I played the first one, I can play other versions." That's not remotely true. Okay, to give you a good example, the only games that I know have been consistent through multiple genres, right, or multiple games, is King of Fighters, because if you take away the 3D ones and only stick to 2Ds, they've been consistent. Same game mechanics, same rules. There is difference between them, but it's practically been the same game ever since the freaking what 93 I think it was the first one. I can't remember. Then Guilty Gear X series, practically the second Guilty Gear to XRD Revelator 2, all been the same game, just upgraded some things, nerfed some other stuff, but practically what the game's been about this entire time. Tekken's the last one, but it's also but it's mostly 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe, but I haven't gotten around to playing that one yet. I gotta wait for runs. And the tag games, they all been consistent. Practically, if you play 3, you can practically play any of these new Tekkens. But Street Fighter never been consistent. Blaze Blue is a game I like. Has not been consistent. Soul Calibur has not been consistent. Smash Brothers definitely has not been consistent. If you can play one of those games, just remember you can only play that one game. The other ones are completely different and usually have a pain in the ass. Take a good example, right? If you're someone who's really good at Smash 64, you're only good at Smash 64. Like there's no way around it. Another pet peeve is when it comes to online and offline gaming. So if you're someone who doesn't know, there's actually people out there who are part of like actual pro players, and they'll tell you there's a difference between online game and offline gaming, right? Inputs, tab, lag, controls, stuff like that. But practically, if you're good online, you're not going to be good in real life. If you're good in real life, you're probably not going to be good online. Basic stuff, right? But I hate when there's some people out there who get mad about lag, who used to play it or no longer plays it in public. Like if you set yourself up to only play online, you should be mad at the fact that you have no one to play with. You choose to play online. You don't choose to play offline. So this is your personal choice. Why would you be mad? Like this is your choice. Yes, lag is a problem. Yes, netcode's a thing. But you made yourself have these limitations. It's not my fault. You chose to do this. Like you are a fucking idiot if you do this. So another pet peeve that I have is practically what people call the expert opinion, but it's mostly comparing one fighting game to another fighting game. I don't know why I see people do this. It makes no sense to me. Like, if you're someone who grew up playing Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Tekken, shit like that, and you know these games in and out, cool. But just because you're good at these games doesn't mean like, oh, I'm King of Tekken. If I go play fucking Street Fighter, I'm gonna get the exact same experience. And then you get whooped, you get destroyed, and you're like, well, this game's bad because it doesn't play like Tekken. Like, okay, first of all, they're two different games. Why the fuck are you saying that is bad? You're used to a 3D fighting game that's all about being tactic versus a fucking 2D fighter like block until you can get that fucking punishing hit. Like, there's a reason why they're two different games, dude. You don't. That's why you never fucking compare them. And the last thing that's a big pet peeve to me is people who pick low tier characters and gets destroyed and get mad when they get destroyed. Now, if you're a new player to a fighting game, this is completely irrelevant to you. This is for people who've been playing the game since day one, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Someone will pick a game, will find a game, been playing it for a while. People already talk about like, this is the bad character, this is the worst character, that's the character, and then people start playing that character. It's like a good example with like Fong. Like, people be like, I'm going to main Fong, knowing that Fong is the worst character in Street Fighter V. And then they get mad because they keep losing. Like, you do know what low tier means, right? It means you're most likely going to get your ass kicked. By volunteering, by sticking to a low tier character, you voluntarily get your ass whooped. This is your choice for maining a low tier. It's not my fault that you thought, oh, I got a low tier character, I can go do a lot of these things. People are not expecting it. No, you're going to get your ass fucking whooped, you dumbass. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. This is just a quick rant, but I'll catch y'all later. Bye.